Our next event is a quadruple-headed run-by for steam photography. The Steamtown National Historic Site is holding a quadruple header to celebrate the railroad's birthday. The railroad has 4 steam locomotives to select from, including former Canadian National 282, number 3254, former Canadian Pacific 462, number 2317, Canadian National number 3377, dressed as Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western, number 1271, and restored Boston and Maine 462 Constitution Pacific 3713. The shuttle trains will be pulled by 060 Switcher number 26. All 5 of these engines are coal burners. Stable power on various runs. We catch the train right out as the train begins its long journey excursion from Binghamton, New York to Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, and return to Scranton. Catch the trains outside of Collingswood for the first time. This is a major run-by. People are ready for the run-by for photographers. The locomotive puts on an incredible show coming through the depot outside of South Cortland. (3254) powers the quadruple header through Halstead, Pennsylvania, which is north from Scranton. Arriving in Scranton, the 3254 will be served. All 4 engines will be serviced and will later be filled with coal and water for the trip down to Tobyhanna. This quadruple header has spent nearly 10 hours pulling this excursion train from upstate New York. In the next 2 hours, it'll arrive back on its journey to Elmhurst. Arriving at Elmhurst, the train begins to stop and the crew will begin to service the engines. As the train is being serviced, we'll take a look at some of the locomotives on the collection. As mentioned earlier, 3254 is the 1917 Canadian-built 282 Mikado built for the Canadian National Railroad. Its sister, number 3377, which today has been redressed to recertify Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western number 1271, which is a 1919 of the same vintage, are both 282 Mikados and are currently stored awaiting future restoration inside the Steamtown Historic Site in Scranton, Pennsylvania. 2317, on the other hand, is a 1923 Montreal-built 462 Pacific, built for the Canadian Pacific Railroad in Regina, Saskatchewan. The fourth engine, parked way in the back of the quadruple header lash-up, is the newest locomotive to operate on Steamtown lines. Boston and Maine 462 Pacific, Constitution 3713. A Lima 1934 built Pacific for use of the Boston and Maine's Constitution Railroad out of Providence, Rhode Island. The locomotive has been returned to active service, and today it will be powering future excursions to Moscow. With servicing complete, the quadruple header departs Elmhurst bound for Moscow. As the train arrives in Moscow and will head off to Tobiana, we will leave them and continue our journey across the Keystone Catastrophe.